Welcome. It's January 3rd, 2023, brand new year, and we got a brand new co-host. We got Mr. Mike Slay, who was just named athletic director at Wyandotte Roosevelt High School. Mike, welcome aboard. How you doing?
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. Doing great. Glad to be here. Glad to be at Wyandotte Roosevelt.
All right. He's got the beautiful hat that I'm going to get me one of those really soon. I love that hat. I know we're scheduled to come out to Wyandotte and do basketball. We're going to do a video of the basketball game on January 12th against Lincoln Park.
Nice.
So we're super excited about that. We'll get a chance to get in the Bears den and see how they play basketball.
Yeah.
And we're super excited.
Yeah.
So a little bit, local sports, Detroit Lions.
Oh.
Did you see the game yesterday?
Watched not all of it,
Okay.
but watched kind of the end of it and here and there type of thing. My son had a hockey tournament, so kept my eye on the game.
Okay. Big Lion fan or?
Local teams.
Okay.
Tigers, Lions, Wings, Pistons. Let's go. I'm a homer.
All right. Now, that's good. I don't have my paraphernalia on today, but I'm a huge Cowboy fan. I do like the Tigers and Michigan State. So, no, I thought that the Lions played really well. Surprising enough, they just splattered the Bears. I think it was 41-10 or something like that. Yeah. So now they moved that game to that Green Bay. They moved it to the night game because it has so many playoff implications. So we're excited for the Lions fans.
Absolutely. I mean, hey, they played well enough if they play like that, they can make the playoffs. If they need some help from other teams, but give it a shot, Yeah.
And I think we'd be a little remiss if we didn't mention the Buffalo Bills game last night, Monday Night Football. First time in my lifetime that I've ever seen a game stop because of a tragedy that happened on the field. What were you thinking, Coach, when you saw that?
That was, as you look at life and some of the issues that we face, that just brings it home that there's more important things than sports.
And I agree wholeheartedly, and that's coming from a man that's the athletic director, right? So
my life is sports. My life is sports. Between my kids and Wyandotte, my life is sports.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. I thought it was a good decision by the NFL, and that they shut it down. They haven't even talked about it. I'm sure that the main thing is that the Hamlin kid get well,
right?
And they want to make sure everything's a go before they move on. So
our
prayers out for that family.
For sure.
And knowing that, hug somebody you love today, because it's you can't tell when it's going to happen, right?
That's the truth.
All right. So, Coach, this is your first time on local sports, but I know you've been to Bears Den.
I have.
Different thing.
Yep, been on the Bears Den once anyway, and got questioned by Mr. Krafsky a bit. So, but all good. It was fun.
No, that's good. So I guess it's my turn to play Krafsky and see. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how you got to Wyandotte, why you're super excited about it. I know we're excited to have you here in this Bears tradition. So,
well, I think the Bears tradition is what drew me to Wyandotte, and being familiar with the Downriver League in my days, being in previously the Western Wayne and the Huron League. So I knew of Wyandotte and knew what the students and coaches bring on a weekly basis, daily basis. They compete well. Yeah. And we compete well, and that's what I like to see, whether at practice, at games. It's exciting. It's exciting to be a part of this community, exciting to be a part of the Wyandotte schools.
No, and I love the small town feel of Wyandotte, right? You got kids that want to grow up from Wilson High or from the Braves Little League team that can't wait to get to Roosevelt and put on those colors. So I think that you have a benefit. Have you seen that work in your favor yet?
Yeah, there's a built-in feeder system from youth to middle school to the high school, and we want to keep that going and build on it and keep the foundation going and make things better as we go on, as we move on.
Question. So in your process as you're hiring coaches for the varsity sport, do they have a say in the middle school, what the middle school will run? Example would be football, I guess. Are they running similar systems?
Sure. We want, I like head coaches, people that fit into the system to be in the middle school and the lower levels and keep, the fundamentals and the foundation through the system and try to, again, build a feeder system, build a culture, build the work ethic all the way through 7 through 12.
And I think that is beautiful, right? Coach, one of your coaches usually sits in here. We call him Jet Set Janeski because he's always gone, right? Coach Janeski, he's your girls' bowling
Yes.
coach. And a lot of times when we sit here and talk, we talk about it'd be great if the feeder system ran the same offense as this
Right.
and this and that. So it's good that from your perspective, that is exactly
Agreed.
what you
Right.
see.
It might be simplified at the lower levels, but it's going to be the same basic, should be the same basic offense and defense, whether throughout the sport.
No, Coach, that makes so much sense because now that kid as an 8th grader, by the time
Right.
he's a 10th grader, he's got a real clue of what you're running. Your background as a coach is in
Track and field was the one that I did the longest, over 20 years down at Carleton Airport. I've coached football, I've coached basketball, I coached cross country, so pretty wide experience as far as coaching. My kids, I haven't coached them, but between soccer and hockey, so I baseball played that as a youth, so I've I've done them all, I guess.
Yeah, you run the gamut. It sounds like that you have a lot of experience in different areas, which is
Right.
good. What is the thing that how long have you been in the position?
As athletic director,
Yes, sir.
so my first year here at Wyandotte Roosevelt, but I was an athletic director previously at Crestwood for 2.5 years.
Okay.
I came upon it right as COVID started, came upon being athletic director at that district. And
Oh, that was tough during that time.
it was a tough stretch. Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
No, well, welcome. So that started this September, this school year you started
Yeah, August
here.
was official start, right?
Awesome. So in the few months that you've been here, what is it that has you excited about, being at the school?
Good people, good coaches, good kids. That's the first part. And first and foremost is surrounded by a good team.
Sure.
And the kids have been great. I can't complain. Obviously as athletic director, you deal with issues, but through and through, it's been great to work with all the people in the community and in the district.
What about one thing that you don't love about your job? and I know that, I don't know, we got a lot of TV viewers too.
Yeah,
but-
no, the phone calls, it goes with the territory, and you just never know what that topic might be. And you just got to put out the fire, and figure out why that person's unhappy, and you just go. But it's not. It's that can happen in any job.
Sure. But correct me, am I wrong? As an athletic director, time, I would think, I thought you were going to jump on time.
Well,
like I got to
would
be
say
there.
Time is, you have to manage the time between job, family, and
Sure.
other commitments. But I knew that going in.
That's right. That's right. And that's a good deal. So no, man, we're glad you're here. Do you have any new coaches that you've had an opportunity to hire?
We have, we've hired a girls soccer coach here for the spring.
Okay.
So that's in place. There's some other positions that need to be filled, and we're working on that. So.
Right. And you also hired the boys bowling coach, though, right?
Yes, correct. Boys
Okay.
bowling was hired. I'm trying to go back to the fall. Let's see, boys bowling. Yeah. So there may have been some lower level positions we had to fill.
Okay.
I can't read.
No,
it's
I
all a
got
blur.
you. Yeah, it's going so fast. Yeah. You go from August, like you say, you hit the ground
Right.
running, and now you're into winter sports already. How are we doing in winter sports?
We're doing okay. Hockey's off to a great start. An 8-3 record, facing some pretty good competition. I know the boys and girls basketball. They're off to a good start in the league.
Okay.
Some non-conference good competition. But so it's going, and I know the other sports too. Wrestling, we're hosting a tournament Saturday, the Wyandotte Invitational.
Okay. What time is that? The Wyandotte? That's this Saturday,
This
January
Saturday,
7th.
Yep. Using both gyms, lots of mats. It starts at 9 a.m. The wrestling starts at 9.
Okay. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's nothing like, and I tell Coach Marty all the time, like, wrestlers are probably the toughest kids that I ever seen in school. Like it would be 160 degrees in the wrestling room and people are throwing things around just trying to get to their weight that they're going to play at. They were like the toughest kids that I ever seen. The stamina,
Right.
the ability to just run and run and run and keep at it.
Well, the combination of strength, agility, endurance is pretty incredible with those kids, and I know they put a lot of time and effort into their training.
No, that's good. So no, if you're around town this weekend, I would say Saturday 9 o'clock, pop by the gym. You'll see some good wrestling. You mentioned something about track was the one that you were into the longest, and over the time that we've actually been here, there's been a girl that's constantly at the top of the charts, and she made down all. News Herald, and I'm sure she made Downriver and everything. Her name's Samantha Koss.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've had an opportunity to see her run from your.
I knew her, but I knew her running before I was the athletic director at Wyandotte Roosevelt. So my daughter competed against her in regional meets. The last couple of years.
Okay.
So I'm aware of Samantha Koss. She's a great runner.
Man, Samantha Koss, she makes this show lively all the time because Samantha does so many great things. She capped off an impressive high school cross-country career with a huge season. The senior finished in the top 2 at every meet she competed in, ahead of regionals. She won the titles at the Wayne County Championship, the Downriver League meet. At regionals, she ran an 18:26. She placed 4th and qualified the state meet for the 4th year in a row. She went on to finish 45th at the D1 state meet, which put her in the top 20% of the field. After the season, she competed at the MITCA Meet of Champions and placed 38 in the elite team division and was in the top 35% of the field. So Samantha Koss, again, great job. We're glad you're a Bear and way to represent. And I'll go through some other kids that are downriver. Megan Wolkers from Flat Rock. She did really well, and she's only a sophomore. Molly Johnston from Huron, she made it. Avery Turk from Huron, she made it as well. Peyton Scheffler from Woodhaven. She was all downriver. Ava Teed from Cabrini. And then there's also Abby Sacco from Woodhaven, which is interesting because Abby also made it in girls golf. She did well. Ava Carson from Trenton, Adeline Rushlow from Woodhaven, Brooklyn Disjournis from Carlson, Kyra Hunter, Allen Park, Alon Cecil from Southgate Anderson, Elizabeth Mattoon from Allen Park, and Aniqua Irwin from Carlson also made all downriver / all News Herald. I got a couple more. I don't want to leave anybody off. Addison Bozinski from Huron, Macy LaCourse from Grosse Ile, Brooklyn Burke from Huron, Adriana Skeen from Huron, and Evangeline Daly from Grosse Ile. So Koss was at the top of it, but it looked like she was the only Bear that actually made it too, which was interesting because I know there was another young lady that finished pretty well in the regionals from our school.
Correct. Eleanor Grant also made the state meet. And also from the running, Michael McCooch, senior boy runner,
Yes,
Downriver League champion, made the state meet, had an excellent season as well.
And McCooch has been equal to Koss in the standings all year in some money when we talk about. And his mom was actually my kid's principal in elementary school. Great lady, and I don't know if you know, she's got a wicked jump shot. She actually played for University of Michigan.
That's what I hear. I haven't seen it yet. I hear that.
Come on out, Miss Carol. Miss Carol, come out and show us what you got. So no, that was good to talk about that. What about, you said hockey started off 8-3.
Correct.
And we talked, and they've been playing tough competition. When is their next game?
So their next game is actually tomorrow. They're playing at the Taylor Sportsplex against Divine Child.
Ooh.
So should be a good competitive game. I know then Saturday they're up at Utica
Okay.
There's I think it's a Utica Ford unified team. And then our next home game is the 11th against Riverview.
Okay. No, that's a good schedule, and I think it speaks volumes to the coach, and I believe that's Coach DeSena.
Correct.
They play a murderer's row schedule.
Well, tough schedule, good competition, but they step up to it.
That's right.
Do the best they can.
And he hasn't been there long. This may be his second year,
I believe.
Yeah, this may be his second year, so it's good to see him. I was telling Odds Jones last week, when I drive into Wyandotte, the way that I come off Emmons, it says state champ.
Yeah.
And that's nothing like seeing that when you're riding into town. It gives you a little pride.
Bowling and hockey.
Yeah.
We're in season right now. We're in season.
That's right. How's the bowling doing?
They're doing well as far as results. Win a couple, lose a couple tough ones. They're going to be in it for the league. Just a matter of how it plays out. There's a long ways to go in the bowling season right now. So, but they've been doing pretty well so far.
Right. And just being around the bowling coaches here, I know that they're kind of tinkering with their lineup, looking for who the fourth and fifth player are. They know they got their horses in the front, but they want to just build everybody up. And by the end of the year, I think you're right.
You have to go with who's capable of the good game and who's been more consistent and make those choices at the end of the season. It's not easy.
No, it's not easy. And you want to see how they perform when the lights are on, right?
Right, when the meat matters, right?
Yeah. When we talk about kids standing or parents standing around the stadium to see an event, you're like, oh. But I think Coach Jet said it best. He said, even though there's a lot of people here, they're not here necessarily to watch you. You just watch the pins. You know what I mean? Like, just think about them being here for other people as well, and it kind of takes some of that
and worry about
off.
your role in your lane. That's
it. That's it. That's all you can do.
Yep.
So we got, I know girls basketball. When's their next game?
Their next game is at Lincoln Park, and that's on Thursday, I believe that's the 12th. Yep, the 12th.
So the way they have it, then the girls play the opposite of boys.
Yep.
So when the boys play in Lincoln Park, then the girls play in.
For the Downriver League schedule, when the boys are on the road, the girls are at home and vice versa. Yep.
Got you. All right, so they got Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park has been moving up. I remember we did a show, and there was a kid for Lincoln Park that had 26 or something like that. She did really well.
Yeah.
But then the next week she didn't do.
Right.
They kind of put the clamps on her.
Their athletic director and coach did a nice job increasing the competition, and they're on the way up.
No, you're right.
So, and I know their boys have been tough for the last few years as well. So it won't be easy for the boys on Thursday either, or a week from Thursday.
No. We look forward to coming out there. You can watch that here on Wyandotte Connects.
Right.
Watch that basketball game. And I think that, if you look at it from the standpoint of your kids getting an opportunity to come on and play on local television, to get their friends and the families that can't necessarily make it to the game to come out, this is a good way to get that out there. What other sports do we have coming up?
I just want to make
Coach?
sure we mention boys swim. I think we might have made a brief reference to it, but some of the leaders there, Riley Green, Jose Hinojosa, Emerson, Mikura, Eli Shimko have been doing really well. They have just started their season, haven't done anything in the league yet, or maybe, I can't remember if they did one meet in the league. But anyway, they're looking to compete for the league and see where it takes them.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. I think that a good swimming team goes a long way in showing how well you actually prepare for sports.
Well, that's also, there's a feeder system in place with the middle school.
Okay.
The girls swim at middle school won the Downriver League, so you know that there's good talent coming through the program. The boys swim, they finished their league meet doing well, so there's good. And, Coach Armiak and Coach Trusowitz do a nice job keeping the whole program, 7 through 12, in good shape.
And that's great, and I'm glad to hear that. What always made me wonder about swimming is, why do we swim in the winter? It seems like it would make more sense to come out the pool and it's warm instead of winter.
The state decides that stuff. We just swim when we swim.
No, I got you. Just something I always wondered as my kids, you got to bundle up. I'm going to drive up.
Right.
I'm going to come all the way up there because you're swimming. But
no,
it's winter time. So, no, that's good. Both of the boys and the girls, they're getting kicked off into the swim situation. We talked a little bit about wrestling. We talked about boys basketball, girls basketball. Is there something that we might have missed or something that's coming?
One sport would be competitive cheer. They've also kicked off their season with a few invites. We host one on the 28th,
Okay.
and if you want to see, it's a lot of fun when you're at those cheer competitions. And their next match, meet, whatever you want to call it, competition is at Brighton this Saturday.
Man, it's big time. You
Oh,
know,
it is.
It
That's
is
a lot of.
big
There's a
time.
lot of schools, a lot of kids. It's a really festive atmosphere.
Yeah, money, resources. You think that it's competitive at a football game or a hockey game, go to one of those cheer competitions and you'll get elbowed in the crowd.
But you'll also see it's competitive with good sportsmanship. The girls will always, you know, they do their thing, but there's always good sportsmanship afterward.
Yeah,
Yep.
they support each other.
They do.
And I think that it's phenomenal how they have to keep it together, right?
Yeah.
I can't even sit in this chair straight, and they want you to, you know,
Right.
bring it down, and
Right,
you're getting
right.
graded for everything. So that's really tough.
Right.
You know, so good luck to the Bears competitive cheer team. That's good to know that we actually have that. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here. We're
glad to
gonna
be here.
We're gonna put him under some pressure and make this a date. You know, maybe once a month or twice a month, and get him out here on a regular basis, because I think that it'll give you a good opportunity to talk to the people in the community, as well as kind of get the message out there, and you can stay in front of it. Now, I know that you're busy as all get out, you know, and we talked about the amount of hours that you spend, but maybe if we can get a commitment from you, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because I just think that you have the knowledge, and it'll be a good way for you to get the names of your kids.
Yeah,
out here.
that's what it's about, is celebrating the athletes we have and the coaches and the success we have, and keep the programs going strong.
That's right. Coach, so I'm glad you're here. Do they have an athletic director at your middle schools? Is there somebody that you can go to at the middle school and say, hey, this is kind of...
Yeah, there is not.
Okay.
You know, again, the administration and coaches have been very supportive. The coaches at the middle school, right now, there's been good experience. So, and I'm in contact with the coaches regularly. So, but yeah, there's not that position.
Yeah.
But you know, it's.
No, you make it work with the coaches.
Correct. We make it work. We make it work with the coaches and the administration's there, and make sure that things are rolling.
Man, the thing I'll tell you is that in my 10 years here in Wyandotte, that I've never seen, it's a well-oiled machine. It can be, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had consistency with the football, and that guy went to the playoffs 15 out of 16 years. You know, like, there's something about consistency
Right.
and knowing what you're doing and preparing for it that'll make you successful in the end. And I wish nothing but success for you, Coach. I'm so happy that you
Appreciate that,
came
Ken.
out.
I'm glad to be here. Glad I could make this make the show.
No, I appreciate that. What about girls golf? We got some News Herald, all downriver. I said it before, and it's kind of, I don't know if it's unrealistic, but Abby Sacco, it's obviously realistic. She made girls golf all downriver as well as cross country. So she had to split her time. Maybe she's somewhat Deion Sanders for our era, but she's a good athlete, obviously. She shined for Woodhaven in 2022 and helped to guide them to the team to an overall league championship and regional title. The junior finished runner-up in both the Downriver League and the regionals. At the D1 state meet, she finished 74th. And she's a junior. Ava Carson, from Trenton. Kyra Hunter, Elizabeth Mattoon, Adriana Skeen from Huron. A lot of good kids that made downriver, all downriver, so we're proud of them for that. I don't know. I think as we wrap up, that it's been my pleasure to have you here. And I think that we look forward to more conversations like this. What it does for us as well as the local community, it gives us insight on what the program's doing. And by it being local sports, we love to talk about the Wyandotte Bears. So please, Coach.
Well, I try to keep up as best I can with the results and what's going on, not just at Wyandotte, but also around the league and around the region. You know, the AD connections, and sometimes I can maybe even pull in some insight from other leagues as to what's going on as well. and who's doing well. So be glad to be a part of it, glad to be a help, and glad to be here at Wyandotte Roosevelt. It's a great community and great district to be in.
Man, welcome home. Yeah, thanks, Coach. So Mike Slay, for Mike Slay, and for me, Ken Brown, we'd like to thank you for watching Local Sports Wrap Up. If you get an opportunity, you could please email us at localsportswrapup@gmail. You could tell us about a kid that you know about that's doing well downriver or locally. I'd love to get more information even from the tiny Tigers or the little bitty basketball, little hoopers, just celebrating youth, during this time. And I think it's important, and we'd love to do it here on this channel. So thank you. Happy New Year, and we'll see you guys next week.